It was a sunny June day, and I was at my boyfriend Michael Afton's house, hanging out with him and his family. The atmosphere inside the house was warm and friendly, like any typical family gathering, except for one big difference. My boyfriend's father, William Afton, was absent. William was away on one of his many business trips, setting up his new company called Afton and Fazbear's Railway. The company specialized in transporting animatronic parts to all the Fazbear Entertainment restaurants, including Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place, owned by my boyfriend Michael. They also offered a passenger train line for people to enjoy Fazbear Entertainment while traveling across the country. Before he headed out that morning, William had excitedly mentioned that each passenger train would have a small stage for animatronic performances in the dining car. Freddy and his friends would be in one, and all the other trains would have 4 animatronics each. The trains would also have comfortable lounge cars, sleeper cars, a video game arcade car, and a beautiful observation car. I could tell William was eager to get his new railway enterprise off the ground, and his plans for the passenger trains sounded ambitious but impressive. I wondered how it would all turn out, especially with the animatronics on board for entertainment. I felt a surge of excitement as William's descriptions of the railway system continued. The thought of the trains, each equipped with animatronic entertainers, sounded incredibly cool, and the fact that the system would be up and running next week made me even more intrigued. It seemed like an experience unlike any other, traveling in style with the added benefit of animatronic entertainment. My thoughts were interrupted as I refocused my attention back to the TV. I was snuggled up next to my boyfriend Michael, watching some random show on the screen. The quiet moment was comfortable, a peaceful interlude after the discussions about his father's railway business. As I watched the TV, my eyes drifted over to see what Michael was looking at on his phone. It was a picture of the Cybertruck by Elon Musk, and I noticed the wistfulness in his eyes. It was clear he really wanted that car as his dream vehicle. As I thought about our anniversary, the wheels in my head started to turn. We had just celebrated our 2-year anniversary as boyfriend and girlfriend, and I wanted to get him something special. Then the idea struck me. What if I surprised him with his dream car, the Cybertruck? I smiled to myself, the plan already forming in my mind. I knew he had bought me my own dream car today, a stunning peach-colored Ford Ltd Crown Victoria. It would be the perfect time to return the favor with my own surprise gift. I continued to snuggle up to him on the couch, acting as if nothing was amiss, when in reality, my mind was racing with excitement. I couldn't wait to see his reaction when I surprised him with the Cybertruck. I decided to use a little white lie as an excuse to slip away. I casually announced that I was going out to pick up some food for lunch, pretending that the simple errand was my only motive. In truth, my plan was to head straight to the car dealership to purchase the Cybertruck. I bid a quick farewell to Michael, making sure I didn't arouse any suspicion about my true intentions. As I left the house, my heart was pounding with anticipation. I couldn't wait to see the look on Michael's face when he saw his dream car. I got into the newly acquired peach-colored Ford Ltd Crown Victoria and started the engine, taking a moment to appreciate the beauty and smoothness of my own dream car before driving off towards the car dealership. As I drove, I felt a mix of excitement and anticipation coursing through me. I could already picture Michael's reaction when he saw the Cybertruck, his eyes lighting up and his face filled with disbelief and delight. The idea of surprising him with his dream car seemed even more perfect as I got closer to the dealership. I pulled into the car dealership's lot, the buildings and cars on display looking like a vibrant showcase of automotive dreams. As I parked the Crown Victoria, I took a deep breath, gathering my excitement and steeling myself for the deal to come. I got out of the car and stepped into the dealership, feeling a mix of nerves and determination. The salespeople and customers milled about, the air filled with the scent of new car interiors and the hum of negotiations. I approached the Cybertruck display, eyeing the vehicle with a sense of purpose. The Cybertruck stood out against the other cars on display with its futuristic and edgy design. It was the perfect choice for Michael, and I couldn't wait to see his face light up when he saw it. I approached a nearby salesman, ready to put my plan into motion. As I neared the salesman, I took another moment to compose myself before launching into my request. The words poured out of me, almost in a rush, as I laid out my intentions. I wanted to buy the Cybertruck on display as a surprise gift for my boyfriend, Michael. The salesman raised an eyebrow at my request, clearly intrigued by the idea of an anniversary surprise gift, especially one as extravagant as the Cybertruck. He asked a few questions about my financial capability and the importance of secrecy, and I answered them confidently, ready to seal the deal. The salesman nodded appreciatively at my financial preparedness and then dropped a bombshell. The Cybertruck was only $25. My eyes widened in shock, hardly believing my ears. Had I heard correctly? Could it truly be that easy to buy the dream car for my boyfriend as a surprise anniversary gift? My heart was racing as the salesman confirmed the incredible news. $25 for the Cybertruck? It seemed too good to be true, but the excitement and disbelief were clear in both the salesman's and my eyes. It looked like I was about to make an unexpected but undeniably thrilling purchase. The icing on the cake was the salesman's mention that engine repairs for the Cybertruck were rare, given its advanced technology. Not only did that mean the truck was a sturdy beast, but it was also practically maintenance-free for many years. And the cherry on top? The repairs would be free of charge. It was as if the universe was really making this surprise gift perfect. I could hardly believe my ears as the salesman continued to give me the details of my amazing purchase. Free of charge engine repairs on this high-tech truck that would run for years without needing any maintenance? It was a gift that kept on giving, and I was beyond thrilled at the thought of Michael's reaction when he saw this incredible surprise. With the deal in place, I completed the paperwork and handed over the $25 to the salesman. Within a few short minutes, the Cybertruck was legally mine, and I could hardly contain my excitement. The thought of surprising Michael with this incredible vehicle filled me with a sense of pride and anticipation. As I signed the last of the papers, I turned to the salesman and requested one final thing. The Cybertruck should be delivered directly to the Afton family residence, where my boyfriend Michael would be waiting. The salesman nodded in understanding and took down the address, assuring me that the vehicle would be transported to the Afton family home within the next hour. The wheels of my plan were now in motion, and I couldn't wait to see the look on Michael's face when he saw his dream car arrive at the door. With the delivery arrangements set, I thanked the salesman once more and left the dealership, a smile of satisfaction on my face. Everything was falling into place perfectly for the surprise anniversary gift, and I couldn't wait to see how Michael would react to the Cybertruck's arrival. I returned to the Crown Victoria and settled into the driver's seat, my heart still racing with the adrenaline of my big purchase. I started the engine and began the short drive back to the Afton family residence, anxious to get there quickly and see Michael's reaction to his surprise gift. As I navigated the familiar streets, my mind was abuzz with thoughts of the upcoming surprise. I couldn't help but imagine Michael's face as he would see the Cybertruck arrive at the house, or his reaction when he realized it was not just any old delivery but his dream car being delivered to him personally. The time seemed to crawl by, and I had to force myself to focus on the road and not drive too quickly in my eagerness. I knew that patience was key. Michael was waiting, unaware of the surprise heading his way. Finally, I saw the Afton family residence come into view. I parked the Crown Victoria in the driveway and got out, looking up at the house with a mix of anticipation and excitement. This was it. Michael was inside, unsuspecting, and about to receive the surprise of a lifetime. I gathered my composure, took one more deep breath, and walked towards the front door, my mind swirling with the events that I knew were about to unfold. With each step, the prospect of Michael's reaction grew closer. I opened the front door and stepped into the familiar warmth of the Afton family residence. The house was quiet, and I knew Michael was inside somewhere, most likely in the living room. I made my way towards the living room, my heart racing as I prepared myself for the surprise. As I entered the living room, I spotted Michael on the couch, completely unsuspecting as he continued to watch television. He didn't notice my presence right away, too engrossed in the screen in front of him. I stood there for a brief moment, just observing the unknowing man I loved. Michael looked up from the television and turned towards me, a warm smile spreading across his face. "Hey there! Welcome back," he greeted, his tone casual and unsuspecting. He had no idea about the surprise that was on its way. Michael's eyes lit up at the sight of the food, his curiosity and excitement growing. "Is that the food you said you were going to go out to get?" he asked. I just smiled, knowing that this wasn't the only surprise he was about to receive. I nodded and set the food down on the coffee table in front of the couch. Yes, I did, I replied easily, watching as Michael's attention quickly shifted back to the food. He reached for a chicken tender and started eating, still not suspecting a thing. As Michael dug into the food, enjoying the taste of the chicken and fries, I continued to act casually, though my heart beat quickly with anticipation. I glanced out the window, wondering when the delivery truck with the Cybertruck would arrive. The wait was almost too much for me. I watched as Michael ate, still blissfully unaware of the surprise on its way. Every minute that passed felt like an eternity as I eagerly awaited the arrival of the truck. I casually sipped on my protein shake, trying to maintain my composure and act as if everything was completely normal. But inside, my nerves were on edge, my mind constantly wandering to thoughts of the Cybertruck and Michael's reaction. Finally, the sound of a truck engine outside caught my attention. I looked out the window and saw a delivery truck pulling up to the driveway. This was it. The moment was about to arrive. I quickly stood up, unable to contain my excitement any longer. I think there's a delivery for us outside, I said to Michael, my voice betraying a hint of my excitement despite my best efforts to keep it toned down. Michael looked up from his food curiously. A delivery? What for? He asked between bites, his brows furrowed in thought. Not sure, I replied with a casual shrug, trying to maintain the air of nonchalance. But I should go check to make sure, right? I headed towards the front door, my anticipation building with every step. Michael nodded, his attention still fixed on the food. Yeah, go ahead. I'll finish this up real quick, he replied, completely unaware of the surprise that was waiting outside. I walked out the front door, a wide smile on my face that I couldn't contain any longer. The delivery truck was parked a few feet away, and just behind it I could see the dark, sleek shape of the Cybertruck. It was here. The delivery truck had parked, and now a team of men were unloading the Cybertruck from the back of it. I stood by, watching with growing anticipation as the truck was lowered onto the ground. It looked even more impressive than in the pictures, a real beast of a car. Each man moved carefully, unloading the truck and making sure nothing was damaged. I could hardly contain my excitement as I watched them work, the thought of Michael's reaction to this dream car filling my mind. After a few short minutes, the Cybertruck was fully unloaded, standing tall and menacing in the driveway. It was finally here, right outside the house. The surprise was a reality. All I had to do now was get Michael outside to see it. I took a moment to look over the truck, admiring its sleek design and powerful presence. It was everything I knew Michael would love. Now, all I had to do was get him out of the house and into the driveway to see it. I headed back inside, closing the door behind me. Michael was still on the couch, finishing up his food. He looked up as I entered, his gaze turning to curiosity as he saw the excitement on my face. You okay? Michael asked, setting down his plate and sitting up slightly on the couch. You look excited about something. I couldn't help but smile wider at his question. Oh, I'm just fine, I replied, unable to contain my excitement completely. There's just something in the driveway that I think you should come see. Michael looked at me curiously, his attention piqued by my words. In the driveway? What is it? He set his empty plate down and stood up from the couch, ready to go see whatever had caught my attention. You'll see, I said with a coy smile, enjoying the suspense I was adding to the moment. Just come outside with me for a second. Michael seemed intrigued but a little puzzled. All right, he said, a hint of curiosity in his voice. He followed me towards the front door, clearly wondering what could possibly be waiting for him outside. I opened the door and held it open for him to step out first. After you, I said, gesturing with a flourish towards the driveway. Michael stepped outside, his expression still curious as he looked around the driveway. Okay, so what am I supposed to be looking at here? He asked, turning to me with a slight chuckle. I couldn't contain my excitement a second longer, and a huge smile spread across my face. I pointed at the Cybertruck and exclaimed, Surprise! Happy anniversary! The moment had arrived, and Michael's eyes immediately widened as he saw the magnificent vehicle in the driveway. His expression was a mix of disbelief and bewilderment, but as he fully processed what he was seeing, a broad grin spread across his face. Holy crap, he exclaimed, his eyes glued to the truck. Are you serious? I nodded, almost bursting with pride and excitement. I'm completely serious, I confirmed, unable to keep the grin off my face. It's yours. A little anniversary gift that I know you've always wanted. It's all yours, babe. Michael stepped closer the truck, his eyes drinking in every detail. He walked around it, taking in the sleek design, the powerful stance, and the futuristic vibe it exuded. His expression was a mix of shock, awe, and sheer joy. This is unbelievable, he said, his voice filled with disbelief. You got me this for our anniversary? Are you for real? I nodded, smiling at his reaction. Yup, I confirmed. This is my way of thanking you for getting me my dream car, the Crown Victoria, for our anniversary earlier today. I wanted to make sure you had your own dream car too, so here it is. Happy anniversary, babe. Tears of happiness welled up in Michael's eyes, and he wrapped his arms around me in a tight, heartfelt hug. I can't believe you did this for me, he whispered into my ear, his voice filled with emotion. This is by far the best gift I've ever received. Thank you so, so much. I love you, honey. I hugged him back just as tightly, holding him closely against me. I'm glad you love it, I replied, my heart swelling with joy at seeing his reaction. I know it's something you've wanted for a long time, and I wanted to make your dream come true. I love you too, honey. Happy anniversary. We stood there in the driveway, wrapped in each other's arms, the Cybertruck gleaming in the sunlight behind us. It was the perfect moment, filled with love, gratitude, and the realization of a long-held dream. This anniversary was definitely shaping up to be one we would never forget. Our embrace held, and our hearts full of gratitude and love, we sealed the moment with a passionate kiss. The kiss seemed to capture all the emotions of the day, the happiness, the excitement, and the deep affection we had for each other. It was perfect, a moment we would remember always. Michael pulled back from the kiss, a wide smile on his face. You're incredible, you know that, he said, his eyes sparkling with admiration. You're the best girlfriend a guy could ask for. This day has been more than I could have ever imagined. The car, the food, the surprise, everything's just perfect. I love you so much, honey. I blushed slightly under his praise, genuinely touched by his words. Well, I wanted to make this anniversary extra special for you, I replied, placing a gentle hand on his cheek. You mean the world to me, and I wanted to show you how much I appreciate you and all you do for me. We make a great team, babe. Michael wrapped his arms around my waist, pulling me closer. We sure do, he agreed, pressing a soft kiss to my forehead. And now we have matching dream cars. It's like we're living some kind of modern-day romantic movie. I laughed softly, enjoying his cheesy comparison. I guess we are on some level, I agreed, leaning into his embrace. But as long as I get to ride off into the sunset with you in our matching dream cars, I'm more than happy to live in this romantic movie. We leaned in for another kiss, our lips meeting in a tender, loving embrace. The world around us seemed to fade away as we lost ourselves in the moment, the affection we had for each other palpable. This was what life was all about: happiness, love, and sharing special moments together with the person you care about more than anything. Michael pulled back slightly, his eyes sparkling with excitement. You want to take a ride in this bad boy with me? He asked, gesturing to the Cybertruck behind him. I'm dying to see what this baby can do. I grinned, the prospect of a joyride in the new vehicle sounding irresistible. Of course I do, I replied, the excitement in my voice evident. I wouldn't miss this for anything. Let's take her for a spin, babe. We headed towards the Cybertruck, Michael practically jumping into the driver's seat with excitement. I climbed into the passenger side, settling into the luxurious interior. The truck was unlike anything I had ever ridden in before, smooth, sleek, and filled with high-tech details. Michael started up the engine, and the truck rumbled to life with a low, powerful hum. The sound alone was exhilarating, and I could feel the power and capability of the vehicle. Michael gave me a grin as he put the truck into gear. Ready for the ride of a lifetime? I returned his grin, my heart racing with anticipation. Absolutely, I answered, my voice filled with excitement. Let's see what this baby can do. I'm ready for anything. Michael expertly maneuvered the Cybertruck out of the driveway, the vehicle moving with grace and control. As we headed down the street, I couldn't help but notice the admiring glances and curious stares from passers-by. This truck was a head-turner, no question. But Michael seemed completely focused on the road, his eyes glued to the traffic ahead. He was testing out the truck's handling capabilities, making quick, precise moves with confidence. Every turn was smooth, every acceleration powerful, the truck responding perfectly to his touch. As we continued our joyride through the city streets, Michael suddenly exclaimed, "Hey, I have an idea! I want to show this baby off to my mom too. I'm sure she'll flip when she sees it. Want to stop by her cafe for a quick surprise visit?" I nodded immediately, excited to see Clara's reaction to the Cybertruck. "Absolutely, that sounds like a great idea. Let's give her a surprise visit. I'm sure she'll be speechless when she sees this car." We continued driving towards Clara's cafe, Michael still clearly enjoying the ride. Soon, we arrived at the familiar building, the sign above the door reading Clara's Cafe. As we parked the car in front of the cafe, I could see a few customers already inside, enjoying their coffee and pastries. We got out of the truck, the sound of the engine still vibrating through the air. We headed towards the cafe door, and as we entered, the aroma of fresh coffee and pastries filled our nostrils. The cafe was cozy and inviting, just like Clara's personality. Clara was behind the counter, her dark hair pulled back in a loose ponytail. She was serving up coffee and chatting with a customer, but her smile widened when she saw us approaching. "Hey, look who it is!" she exclaimed, her voice warm and cheerful. "What are you two doing here?" "We wanted to give you a little surprise," Michael explained, a grin on his face. He gestured towards the truck outside. "We just got a new set of wheels, and we wanted to show it off to you. What do you think?" Clara's eyes widened at the mention of the truck outside, and she quickly set down the coffee pot she was holding. "A new set of wheels, huh?" she asked, curiosity piqued. "Let me see this beast then." We all headed outside, and Clara's jaw dropped as she laid eyes on the Cybertruck. "Holy moly," she murmured, her eyes taking in every detail. That is one amazing vehicle." Michael chuckled at her reaction, clearly enjoying the impact the truck was having. "This ain't your average car, Mom. It's a Cybertruck, as sleek and fast as it looks. Pretty damn cool, right?" Clara was practically speechless, still staring at the truck in awe. "I'd say it's more than cool," she managed to say after a moment. It's incredible. And I bet it feels incredible to drive too." Clara looked at Nora with a mixture of surprise and admiration. "You bought this for him as an anniversary gift?" she asked, her voice filled with incredulity. "And Michael bought you your dream car for the same day? You two really don't mess around, do you?" I chuckled, feeling a little bit embarrassed, but proud too. "Yeah, we wanted to make each other's dreams come true," I explained. "Michael knew how much I've always wanted a Crown Victoria, and I knew how much he's always wanted a Cybertruck. So we made it happen." Clara looked even more astonished at this new information. $25? For a Cybertruck? She repeated, her eyes widening further. "And you got the Crown Victoria for $15? Are you guys kidding me?" Michael laughed, clearly enjoying the shock value of our purchases. "Nope, no kidding at all," he confirmed, a proud smile on his face. "We both got ridiculously good deals on our dream cars. It was like fate or something, just meant to be." Clara shook her head in disbelief. "Unbelievable," she muttered, still absorbing the news. "I've never heard of prices like that for cars, let alone cars like these. You two really hit the jackpot." Clara smiled, a mixture of pride and amazement still etched on her face. "You two really are something else," she said, her voice filled with admiration. "Finding steals like this, giving each other dream cars as gifts, I don't know how you do it." Clara's eyes sparkled as she continued speaking. "And I'm just so dang proud of both of you," she said, her voice filled with emotion. "You're both chasing your dreams, making each other happy, and finding ways to do it in ways I would have never imagined. It's amazing." Clara quickly pulled us both into a warm, tight hug. "I have to get back to work now," she said reluctantly, her arms still around us. "But I just wanted to give you both a hug and say I'm so proud of you. Keep making each other happy and chasing your dreams, okay?" We hugged her back, feeling the warmth and love in her embrace. "Thanks, Mum," Michael said, his voice full of affection. "We will. You know we will." Clara pulled away from us and gave a final wave before disappearing back into the cafe. I turned to Michael and smiled, feeling the happiness and pride that our interaction with Clara had brought. "She's always been so supportive, hasn't she?" I asked, leaning against the Cybertruck. Michael nodded, a fond smile on his face. "Yeah, she really is. She's always believed in us and our dreams, no matter how outrageous they seem. We're lucky to have her." I hummed in agreement, feeling my heart fill with gratitude for Clara's unwavering support. We really are, I said, my gaze lingering on the cafe. She's more like a second mother than a mother-in-law, huh? Michael chuckled, clearly thinking about their relationship. Oh yeah, definitely more like a second mom, he replied. She's been there for me my whole life, and she's always treated you like family too. It's kind of perfect, honestly. I smiled, feeling a sense of belonging and comfort knowing that Clara saw me as family. Yeah, it is perfect, I agreed. And I know she's always got our backs, no matter what. Michael's eyes lit up at the suggestion. Oh yeah, that's a great idea, he exclaimed. Dad would love to see the Cybertruck. He's been away setting up his new train system, but I'm sure he'd be really excited to get a glimpse of this beast. We positioned ourselves in front of the truck, and Michael took out his phone. Say Cybertruck, he joked, holding his phone up to capture the picture. I laughed and posed with the truck as if it was a trophy, giving an exaggerated grin. Cybertruck, I exclaimed, trying to pose dramatically with the truck. Michael chuckled and snapped the picture. He glanced at the picture on his phone. Perfect, he said with a satisfied grin. Dad's gonna lose his mind when he sees this. Michael hit send on the photo, the message with the picture winging its way to his father on the other side of town. We both stood by the Cybertruck, eagerly waiting for a reply from William. Michael typed out a message alongside the picture, explaining the situation to his father. Hey Dad, check this out! My awesome girlfriend Nora got me this Cybertruck as a surprise anniversary gift today after I got her dream car, the Crown Victoria. Can you believe it? Michael hit send on the message, his heart pounding with excitement. We both waited impatiently for a response from William, imagining his possible reaction at the news of our extravagant gifts to each other. A moment later, Michael's phone buzzed with a new message notification. He opened the message, a smile spreading across his face as he read it. Dad responded, he exclaimed, turning the screen to show me. The message read, That's incredible, son. I'm so proud of both of you for treating each other so well. Happy anniversary! I couldn't help but feel warm and fuzzy at the message from Michael's father. Ah, that's sweet, I said with a grin. I'm glad he approves and is happy for us. It's always nice to have his support, isn't it? Yeah, it is, Michael agreed, his eyes still glued to his phone. He's always been supportive of us, even when we do things he can't quite understand. He just wants us to be happy, you know? Definitely, I replied, feeling grateful for William's understanding and acceptance. It's nice to know we have his backing, no matter what crazy things we come up with. We climbed back into the Cybertruck, the powerful engine roaring to life once more. Michael expertly maneuvered the vehicle back onto the road, a satisfied smile on his face. We continued our joyride through the city, the Cybertruck attracting admiring glances and envious stares from people on the sidewalk. It was clear that we had turned quite a few heads with this beast of a vehicle. We cruised through the streets, the wind whipping past us as we zipped through traffic with ease. The Cybertruck handled like a dream, responding flawlessly to every turn and acceleration. The drive was thrilling and exhilarating, and I couldn't help but feel like a celebrity riding in this incredible vehicle. I glanced over at Michael, who was clearly enjoying every second behind the wheel. Michael reached over and took my hand in his fingers intertwining with mine. It was a simple gesture, but one that filled me with warmth and affection. Despite his focus on the road, he still wanted to keep that connection with me. I felt a flutter in my heart as he held my hand, feeling the love and comfort in that touch. We drove on, the wind rushing past us, our hands still linked together. The cityscape passed by us in a blur, the lights and buildings a kaleidoscope of color and sound. But in that moment, all I could focus on was the feel of Michael's hand in mine, his presence grounding me and reminding me that we were in this journey together. We continued our drive in comfortable silence, the hum of the engine and the sounds of the city the only noise around us. I couldn't help but feel a sense of contentment and peace, knowing that I had everything I needed right there beside me. As we cruised down the road, Michael suddenly broke the silence, his voice low and sincere. You know, he began, stealing a glance at me before returning his gaze to the road. There's something I need to say to you. I immediately turned my attention to him, sensing the serious tone in his voice. I squeezed his hand gently, encouraging him to continue. "What is it?" I asked, my heart thudding in anticipation. Michael took a deep breath, his fingers gripping the wheel a bit tighter. "You're not just my girlfriend, you know," he stated, his eyes fixed on the road ahead. "You're my partner, my confidante, my partner in crime. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me." My heart skipped a beat at his words, a wave of emotion washing over me. I felt tears prick at the corners of my eyes, the weight of his words sinking in. "Michael," I started, my voice wavering. "You truly mean that?" He glanced over at me, his eyes meeting mine for a brief moment. "Of course I do," he reassured me, a small smile tugging at the corners of his lips. "I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. You're more than just a girlfriend to me. You're my everything." A tear slipped down my cheek, the overwhelming love and appreciation in his words too much for me to hold back. "You're my everything too," I managed to say, my voice barely above a whisper. "I love you so much, Michael. More than words can express." I leaned over towards Michael, my heart full of love and appreciation for him. Without hesitation, I planted a tender kiss on his cheek, my lips lingering against his skin for a moment longer than necessary. We rode on in contented silence, our conversation having deepened our connection even further. The Cybertruck continued to cruise through the city, the engine purring like a satisfied cat. As we left the hustle and bustle of the city behind, the scenery changed to the wide open spaces of the countryside. We drove past endless fields and rolling hills, the vastness of the surroundings creating a sense of freedom and tranquility. The wind blew gently through the open windows of the Cybertruck, bringing the fresh, clean air of the countryside into the cabin. We took deep breaths, relishing in the sense of freedom that came with escaping the city's hustle and bustle. We continued on, the miles of open space stretching out before us like an endless canvas. The only sounds were the rustling of the grass, the occasional call of a bird, and the hum of the Cybertruck's engine. It was peaceful, serene, and utterly perfect. As we drove through the countryside, Michael suddenly broke the tranquility of our surroundings with a simple question. "Hey Nora, are you hungry?" he inquired, cutting through the silent serenity of the moment. I immediately felt a pang of hunger at the mention of food. "Actually, I am a bit hungry," I confessed, my stomach grumbling in agreement. "All that driving has given me quite the appetite." "How about a burger?" Michael suggested, seeming to read my mind. "I know a great place nearby that does amazing burgers." A burger sounds perfect," I replied, my mouth already watering at the thought. "Lead the way, mister." We pulled into the drive-thru of a small, local burger joint. The smell of grilled meat and sizzling onions wafted through the air, making my stomach growl even more. We waited patiently as the car ahead of us finished their order, the mouth-watering scent of food making the anticipation even stronger. Michael turned to me, a playful smile on his face. "So, what do you feel like having?" he asked. "The burgers here are pretty famous, but they've got a few other options too, if you prefer something else." I thought for a moment, my eyes scanning the menu on the giant screens in front of us. I think I'll go with a classic cheeseburger, I decided. "Extra cheese and pickles, please." Michael nodded, already knowing my preferences. "Solid choice," he said with a grin. "And fries to go with that?" "Absolutely," I replied, my mouth watering at the thought. "Coke to drink." Michael repeated my order to the intercom, adding his own order for a double cheese bacon burger and a strawberry milkshake. We waited for a few minutes as our orders were being prepared, the anticipation growing with each passing second. With our orders in hand, we hit the road once more. The tantalizing aroma of the burgers filled the cab of the Cybertruck, making my stomach rumble with anticipation. I couldn't wait to take a big bite out of that juicy cheeseburger. We settled back into our seats, the bags of food sitting between us. I wasted no time in unwrapping my burger, my mouth watering at the sight of the dripping cheese and juicy patty. "Oh, this looks so good," I said hungrily, barely able to contain myself. As we hit the highway, Michael engaged the autopilot feature of the Cybertruck, allowing the vehicle to take control of the driving so we could focus on our meal. I immediately dug into my cheeseburger, the first bite sending waves of flavor and texture exploding on my taste buds. I moaned, my eyes almost rolling back in pure bliss. "This is even better than I expected." "You've got to try a bite, Michael." Michael chuckled as he bit into his own burger, the cheese and bacon and meat all combining perfectly together. "Damn, you're right," he managed to say with his mouth full. "This is damn good." We continued to devour our burgers in companionable silence, occasionally exchanging satisfied glances and moans of pleasure. The food was so good that it deserved all our attention, leaving no space for conversation. We finished our burgers all too quickly, both of us licking our fingers and savoring the final crumbs. "That was amazing," I said, patting my stomach. "I'm stuffed, but that was worth every calorie." Michael nodded, clearly feeling the same way. "Yeah, that was one of the best burgers I've ever had," he said, a content smile on his face. "Maybe we should make this a regular stop on our adventures." The sun was just starting to set as we pulled into the driveway. The sky was a beautiful mix of pink and orange, the colors dancing across the clouds like a watercolor painting. We climbed out of the Cybertruck, feeling content and full after our adventure-filled day. We made our way to the front door, the house waiting for us like a familiar refuge. Michael unlocked the door, and we entered, the scent of home enveloping us in its comforting embrace. The house was quiet and peaceful, the only sounds being the gentle ticking of a clock and the soft hum of the air conditioning. We walked into the living room, sinking into the cozy sofa and letting out weary sighs. We made our way to the bedroom, the exhaustion from the day's activities starting to weigh on us. We quickly changed out of our clothes and into comfy pajamas, silently savoring the simplicity of being in each other's presence. As we climbed into bed, we snuggled under the covers, the warmth of each other's bodies providing a sense of security and comfort. The silence of the room wrapped us in a cozy blanket, the only sounds being our breathing and the occasional rustling of sheets. I leaned into Michael, my head on his chest, his heartbeat a steady rhythm that soothed and calmed me. I felt his arm wrap around me, pulling me closer to him. "This is nice," I whispered, my voice soft in the stillness of the room. "Just being here with you." Michael gently moved his hand over my hair, his fingers running through the strands in a soothing manner. "Yeah," he agreed, his voice low and gentle. "Just us and nowhere to be. Perfect." Wrapped in each other's arms, we drifted off to sleep, the weariness of the day's activities finally taking over. The room was filled with the soft, steady breathing of our slumber, the silence only occasionally broken by the rustling of sheets or a soft, contented sigh. As we slept, the world outside faded away, leaving only the comfort of each other's presence. The night passed quietly, the hours ticking by as we lay intertwined in each other's embrace.